Here's the swing of one of my students, Dave. Now, Dave is a professional golfer who plays on mini tours out in the US, and Dave has won 3 tournaments in the last couple months, and 2 of them coming within the last 3 weeks. So Dave is on a tremendous run of form at the moment. So we're going to talk about what have we worked on with Dave to get him to this point in his game to where he's winning tournaments on a regular basis at a professional standard, shooting rounds in the mid-60s. But also we're going to talk about how we're maintaining his game going through that time. And this is very applicable to everyone at the moment. Now it's summertime in the Northern Hemisphere. We're playing more golf than we're practicing. Really, really important. So when me and Dave started working together, which was probably about a year and a half ago from now on Skillist, we were working on to initially start off his swing is reducing a lateral slide of his pelvis in the downswing, where he would have the left side of his pelvis start to lift and raise, which would cause it to slide away. Then Dave's upper body would fall back, he would lose control of club face, and would have a little bit of a flip roll going through the golf ball. So ultimately his club face was never ultimately that square for that long going through the golf ball. So for professional golf, really tough to be successful at if you don't have control over this. We can't be missing shots right or left by a big margin if you want to win professional tournaments. So first things first we had to do for Dave, we had to make sure his hip tilt was working better in the downswing. We didn't want this left side raising up. So we wanted to keep that left side down and turn through that downswing, which will keep his upper body and lower body more on top of each other. But more than anything, that would enable himself to have a more cleaner rotation going through the golf ball, which will result in squarer club face for longer, more club face control. So here's a drill we did. This is an awesome drill for 1, to get you clearing your hips, and 2, to get yourself maintain your tilt of your hips and not sliding. So how we did our drill to fix this slide, we had an alignment stick through the belt loops, where you can see a lot of the alignment stick coming out the left hand side, tiny bit on the right here. But we also had another alignment stick here, a little bit down the target and behind us also. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to keep this left side of the stick down as we're turning. So we didn't want it raising up because that's losing hip tilt. We want to maintain our hip tilt, but we want to try and hit this stick as soon as we possibly could in the downswing. So that's going to speed up the rate of rotation of the lower body, which is going to help him for distance also. So Dave, we've also worked quite a bit on getting more distance, helps with the professional game. But that rotation, less slide, more club face control more importantly. So I'm hitting this stick as quickly as I can in the downswing whilst keeping the stick in my loops really low. So that creates really nice solid rotation. So we worked on that, had lots and lots and lots of practice with it. Now here's the thing, which is very, very important. Did we then change onto something else when we started seeing him doing it successfully? No, we didn't. We still do this drill nowadays. We still do it a year and a half later. So that's to make sure this movement is still in his golf swing. Now we've worked on other things. We've worked on making sure his hands are a little bit higher in his swing, more width, more handle travel to pick up some more club head speed. We've worked on centered turn, keeping him centered on top of the golf ball. Now, because he's playing some really good golf at the moment, this is what's really helped him be able to develop that good scoring average, dropping it down quite nicely. And what's really helped him, have this good run of form. Now, with this good run of form, what we've been doing, we haven't been going, right, we need to work on something else, because there are more things we want to work on with Dave. There is a good few more things. I want to get more width for him going post-impact to help him even more with his club face control, and then still work on some pivot-orientated moves. There's no way we're working on it right now, because he's winning golf tournaments. We wouldn't want to make a technical change in his golf swing whilst you're at such a good reign of form. So this can apply to a lot of you out there right now, is you might be playing somewhat okay, but you're tempted to fiddle around with your golf swing, to change and tinker things here and there. That might be absolutely what you need to do, but it will bring you out of your form. You will start playing worse, because whenever you make a technical change in anywhere, you will start playing worse when you start trying to get that into your golf swing. It's just an inevitability. Short term, you will play worse. So with a lot of you out there, make sure when you're working on something, you're working on it for a very long time. And let's say you've already started working on something at the beginning of this season time, don't change to anything else until the season ends, like we're doing with Dave. We're not going to work on anything else until that season finishes. So that's where the discipline needs to be there on sticking with something for as long as you can. But more than anything here, guys, don't have to be a professional for better rotation and better hip movement to benefit you. It's actually going to benefit you along the board of handicaps. So, absolutely, guys, be like Dave. Work on something for a consistent amount of time. So, a year and a half we've worked on something. Yeah, there's been other little things, but this is maintenance. We still do this now, still do it. And 2, really make sure you're disciplined and being patient on what you work on. Make sure you're getting something into your golf swing before you move into something else. And in the season, don't go crazy with working on loads of little things. Work on one consistent thing. So, if you enjoyed this video, click that like button if you want more golf instruction just like this. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. So, if you want an online lesson with me, you can absolutely do that. The link's down in the description on Skillist. So I know a lot of you out there are hesitant on whether online lessons work or not. Come on, I mean, Dave's just won 3 tournaments in the last 2 months. As a professional, they work. They work better than in-person lessons. So, if you want that, that's down there. We can play better golf.